Today we have this battle is this kaiju war battle was suggested by Louis Goldsberry. He wanted Gappa right here, Gappa, going against Geronimon. Yes, we're bringing back Geronimon. Okay, let's get into their background. So Gappa is actually a male and female kaiju. The dad is bigger than the female because of sexual dimorphism, and they have a son. Yeah. So they went in their standalone film called Gappa, and they're apparently this like upright standing bird kaiju. So yeah, that's pretty much it. They come from outer space too. Anyways, Geronimon, he's a kaiju from the Ultraman series. He's just like this necromancer witch doctor kaiju. Okay, now Gappa. Now we're gonna be using the male Gappa. So the male Gappa, well, he's 196 feet tall and weighs around 6,613 tons. Very, very he's very light. He could be actually considered a Pacific Rim kaiju. But now Geronimon. Well, what does Geronimon have? Well, Geronimon is 131 feet tall and weighs around 30,000 tons. So we can see that Gappa is taller. Well, Geronimon, well, he's heavier. Also, forgot to mention, Gappa, yeah. Well, he's 262 feet long. Okay, now their weapons. What are Gappa's weapons or abilities? Well, Gappa can peck, tail slap, stomp, slash, bite, peck, So Gappa can fly at the speeds of Mach 6. And fun fact, those wings Gappas have, well, they're actually a type of their ribs. Yeah, those wings are their ribs. That's kind of terrifying. Gappas have an underwater speed of 150 knots, which is pretty fast. Gappas can transform the destructive force of 2 million HPS. Their wings can emit hurricane force winds. They can cause tsunamis by their wing powers. They have a radiant heat beam, which they can shoot out of their mouth, which is just like an orange color. Yeah. Yeah, those radiant heat beams can burn anything, basically. They're they're immune to poison, too. Okay. The Gappas can also, emit bioluminescence from their eyes, blue-white underwater and yellow on land. Yeah. Oh, okay, and the Gappas can also emit electricity. But what about Geronimon? What does this witch doctor have? Well, Geronimon has telekinesis, feather shot. Feather shot is where he has he has quills on his tail, which he just flick it towards the opponents, and those quills stab those opponents. Anti-gravity mist, where he just breathes mist out of his mouth and he just flies away. Resurrection. This resurrection, he can just bring back any dead monster. He can also shoot fireballs and he has psychic powers, able to levitate an opponent. Yeah. So apparently his telekinesis, he can control his feather quill attack. He can also control his telekinesis can also control the anti-gravity mist, so he can just control it everywhere. Okay, this fight. Now, how would they defeat each other? Well, Gappa is a bigger, so he can just shoot his radiant heat beam at him a couple of times, and then there. Geronimo's done for. But Geronimon can bring back dead kaiju and Geronimon can beat him that way by bringing up dead kaiju, feather shot after feather shot, and probably killing him because of blood loss. This fight takes place in Dubai. So yeah, let's start. The male Gappa rises up out of the water to find food. So he looks around and then he sees this giant witch doctor kaiju. He thinks, yes, perfect. So he goes towards the witch doctor kaiju and slaps him in the back of the neck. Geronimon is injured and roars in pain, but then looks up and sees this giant bird kaiju. So Geronimon gives him an uppercut and starts beating the shit out of Gappa. The male Gappa starts grabbing him by the stomach and starts throwing him down to the ground. And he starts curb stomping on his neck. But Geronimon then shoots out his anti-gravity mist towards Gappa, and Gappa is sent flying. Gappa lands on a couple of houses before getting back up, and so does Geronimon. Geronimon then does feather shot. 8 of those feathers is sent into the male Gappa's chest. The male Gappa squawks in pain and then does his radiant heat beam. It hits Geronimon right square in the chest, and Geronimon roars in pain. But then Geronimon charges and knocks over Gappa. Gappa kicks Geronimon right in the stomach, but then Geronimon just karate chops him in the throat. Gappa then gets back up and then squawks at the giant witch doctor kaiju and starts tail slapping him a lot. Geronimo's getting tail slapped back and forth, back and forth. Yeah. Anyways, Geronimon is just getting his ass handed to him. Until Geronimon shoots his fireballs at the back of at the back of Gappa's back. Gappa falls down and squawks in pain. He then looks and sees that Geronimon is just spitting out fireballs like there's no tomorrow. So Gappa invades to the water. Geronimon knows what he's trying to do, so he waits there patiently. Gappa then flies up, and Geronimon shoots him down. Geronimon has just predicted his attack. But Gappa is still not down for the count and does his hurricane winds again. And sends giant tsunamis towards Geronimon. Geronimon gets swept away and crashes into a lot of buildings, but eventually gets back up and does his feather shot. Two of the feathers land in Gappa's eyes. One for each. Gappa is now blind and he's trying to take them out. And take those feathers out of his eyes. Geronimon then shoots his fireballs towards Gappa's chest a couple more times. Gappa starts squawking in pain. As Geronimon does his anti-gravity mist attack, floats towards Gappa and grabs him by the neck. Gappa is like, "Nani?" And he then gets chokeslammed by Geronimon. Geronimon starts punching the shit out of Gappa. Gappa can't take any of this anymore. But no, Geronimo's not done yet. He grabs him by the skull and drowns him underwater. He's drowning him. Gappa can't take any of this anymore and decides to fly up. But no, Geronimon keeps him pinned down. He does a couple more feather shots to the back of the skull, and eventually it's over. Gappa is no more. As Geronimon roars in victory before doing his anti-gravity mist and flies off. the male Gappa is dead. Mother Gappa and their son will never see their father ever again. Verdict. In a fight between Geronimon and Gappa, Geronimon wins. Geronimon has more abilities and he's a lot more craftier than Gappa. Sure, Gappa is a pretty strong and formidable kaiju, but he doesn't have what it takes to take down Geronimon. Geronimon is just one strong mother effer. Anyways, who do you think would have won this fight? Let me know in the comments down below. I'll see you guys later. Bye bye.